Today, I want to talk about the Hospital Liaison Committee, or the HLC. In my last video, I've been talking about blood transfusions and why Jehovah's Witnesses are not choosing blood transfusions and the positive sides and negative sides of blood transfusion. And today, I'm going to talk about the HLC, which is the Hospital Liaison Committee. Okay, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for being here and enjoy watching. Let's go. Let's start here. Who are the HLC, or the Hospital Liaison Committee, you may ask? And these are intermediate people, especially elders and ministers from Jehovah's Witnesses, and they are becoming an intermediate person between the patient and the hospital. As you may know, Jehovah's Witnesses are not choosing blood transfusion, and they need a certain medical care. Also, when a Jehovah's Witness patient is having a stressful situation before their surgery, or like they're feeling stressed out before their surgery, there's an elder that can help them, that is specialized in helping these patients. The HLC is helping people that are Jehovah's Witness because they're not choosing blood transfusion. I said it before in my recent video about blood transfusion and about all the do's and don'ts. If you haven't seen it, it's up there. You can watch it. It's online. Jehovah's Witnesses are choosing bloodless care. They are also not wanting Jehovah's Witnesses to have care from the occult. And that's what I found on their website, on jw.org. They say that the occult is not okay to work with. They want to prevent their Jehovah's Witnesses to hang out with people that are doing certain healings, and maybe like shamans and stuff. People that are shaman, they don't want them around. It needs to be clear and clean and inspired by God. That's what they want. And then they have their own convictions, especially about blood transfusions. That's what they have. And they need to be in between the patient and the hospital for that. The HLC, the Hospital Liaison Committee, are not medical people. I need to be clear about that. That is a note. They are not medical people. They are in between the patient and the doctor, and they're telling the doctors and the hospitals what the patient wants after discussing that with them. And there can be anything from mental support during a medical procedure to talking about no blood transfusion and whatsoever. They're also doing readings for hospitals and doctors to educate them about the bloodless medical care, or about anything that the Jehovah's Witness needs from a hospital that is different because of their religious beliefs. You know, what I was curious about is how free is the HLC? The people are offering help, but how free is it? So what I found out is that people are volunteering, and it's basically free. So, but you have a hotline you can call. I'm not sure about what it will cost or not. They kind of keep it private. All it's very private. Like, it's only for the elders. So it's very hard to find anything about it. Yeah, I don't know if there are any fees or anything. I don't know. What I was also curious about is what kind of study do they have to be part of the HLC? I'm not sure. It's hardly, you can hardly find anything about it. It's like they're discussing it in the hotline. It's more a private thing. But they're not talking about, they are educating physicians and doctors and hospitals, but what are they teaching their Jehovah's Witness elders? I am very curious about that. If anyone has any information about that, let me know in the comments. I really want to know about that. So let's go on. How quick can HLC be there? Of course, they are not doing the procedure when it comes to surgery, but they want to offer help, before a surgery or medical help, but also in between. They want to be in between everything that's happening. So, you want to know when they can offer help. And it said it's 24/7. It's open 24/7. You can call 24/7. I wonder if that's true, actually. I don't know. I haven't called. Maybe I should be more rebellious and actually call them to see if, but I don't know. Like, I want to know more about it. I want to learn things. But also, my intention is maybe not what they are looking for. Maybe that's not what they're looking for, but we want to learn. And it seems like they keep it private, so it's hard. But I think they can offer the help as soon as possible. I could not really find anything about it, but they say it's open 24/7. But the rest is just, it's hard to find. Yeah, so I got a story here. I'm going to talk about some stories that I found on the internet. And one says they've made several announcements within the last 6 months or so at the congregation. I reluctantly attend about how we are required to inform the elders if we have an upcoming surgery scheduled, so they can offer any help. Not sure why it's emphasized so much, but we had several folks battling different forms of cancer and other health problems. I think that's, so you are required, you have to tell the elders what kind of surgery you're going through. They don't have anything to know about that, I think. And especially when you're in contact with the Hospital Liaison Committee or the HLC, it is something that you really have to do. It's also a choice. But then I think afterwards you feel kind of like you're being watched. You're constantly being watched. And it's not God you're being watched with. It's the elders as well. And I can tell you, they are coming to your door to check up on you. I know. I've seen it. They absolutely come to your door to check up on you, how you're doing. And what you're doing, especially. There's another story. Yeah, crazy logic. Supposedly, Holy Spirit can enable 20-year-old single elders to give martial and parenting advice, or as you said, window washers or Walmart greeters to advise doctors on surgical options. Yeah, I think that one is kind of funny and crazy. I don't really see in front of me elders that are 20 years old and maybe working at Walmart. I don't know. That is a very American concept, by the way, Walmart. But that's okay. We all understand this idea. It's more like the absurdity. It's the absurdity of these people are informing doctors and surgeons like they don't know what they're doing, right? I think, I understand this. So I got another one. I love these. I really love these. This one says, pretty off-putting, not reassuring, and they were very pushy and insistent on making sure I had my blood card on file at the hospital, and I told everyone no blood. But they also never stepped foot in the hospital or visited me, so I could have easily just accepted a blood transfusion, didn't end up needing one, and I don't see how anyone would have ever known. So yeah, that's also that is actually an example. I'm very happy that I found an example of it actually happening. So they were pushy and insistent on making sure I had my blood card on file at the hospital. So yeah, it's really pushing that upon people, which is a very terrible thing to do. But eventually he said no blood, it was not needed. But no one, they say they're so supportive and so loving, and you see it in videos as well. I'm going to talk about that later. These people don't really care. They give the care they need in a moment, and then all of a sudden you don't really see them anymore. It's just when it's right for them, you know? Maybe to stroke even their ego, I don't know. But they only show up when it's there for them. I said it before. When they can convince you otherwise, they would absolutely do everything that they can, and with the sweetest face on. That's what they do. The good part is coming now. The conclusion. So my conclusion is, I've been watching videos about the Hospital Liaison Committee and what they do on the exjw.org page, and it was kind of hard to watch. It all looks super fake. First of all, it looks super fake. All these people talking, is super fake. But they're showing a way of actually that someone's life is saved, and which is beautiful, you know. It's beautiful that someone's life is saved, but I feel a very conditional love when it comes to Jehovah's Witnesses, because they say they're helping and they're loving, but when you're talking in a different way than they are talking, you immediately get kicked out, you know. They will not help you anymore. They're not supporting you anymore, and then you get kicked out. So that, for me, that's very conditional. It's not a very loving thing. But yeah, that's something that they need to decide. What I also think is that there's always someone between you and the outside world. There always needs to be a person in between you and the hospital. So, like, I wouldn't feel fine and free because of that. If they can offer mental help and loving help, that's beautiful, right? Even if it's religious, I think it's a good thing. But they want to take on things that doctors should do, or maybe mental health care people should, like, are educated for, and they doing it because of religious reasons. I think that is it's terrible. I think you cannot really do that. You're taking responsibility for something that you're not even educated in. So it's a lot of concerns from hospitals and people that know about the HLC. That's what I've read, that there is someone in between the patient, that they're forcing, usually it can be family, it can be an elder that is forcing people to do what they have to do, that they say they have to do. And that is not right. That is not right. It's pushing other people. What I also struggled with was, first of all, that it's hard to find anything about it. Like, what are they really doing? I did find some information, and I even found a folder. I found something about the procedure, so I'm going to show that in the video. But what I struggle with is, how do these people study? How do these elders study? From who and what are they doing? I struggle to figure out what it's about, really. And I hope it's not information just from the internet that I found. I hope not. I hope it's going to be more professional than that. But you cannot find anything about it. What are these types of studies when it comes to HLC? And that is not something that I could find. I'm sorry. I wish I could give you that information, but I can't. I'm sorry. If you know anything, if you know someone that is in the HLC, or you've been in HLC, or you know anything, someone that has help from the HLC or had help from the HLC, let me know. Let me know, because I want to know more about this one. This is what I could offer you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Yeah, I'm gonna say like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and peace!